Hello, everyone. Hope we are all doing fine. So, guys, I heard you that those few things that you need to do to make your wife or your girlfriend happy seem to be like so much to ask for. Fine. Now I'm in the process of finding out from the guys what their women can do to make them happy. So, by the time I'm done with that, I'll probably have to do another video where there is a balance, that sweet middle place where everybody can feel very happy and comfortable. But for today, I want to talk about loneliness. Love yourself enough to find out if you are lonely and what you can do about it. Being alone does not necessarily mean you have to be lonely. I have been lonely as a little girl, and it's not a good place to be. When I became conscious of the fact that I looked a little different from kids my age, at first I couldn't understand why, but I got picked at a lot. People said very mean things to me just because of how I look like. So that caused me to retreat and stay by myself. I can even say I developed a low self esteem and felt a little inferior to others just because of how I looked. I couldn't play with my friends because I was afraid that if I did something or said something that somebody did not like, they'll easily remind me of how I look like. When I was in middle school, our first week in school, I really didn't know who my classmates were then. We were sitting somewhere and making noise. And when the discipline master came, everybody ran away. And I thought I ran away too. Unfortunately, the next day when he came to class, he picked me out and he told me to call everybody else I was making noise with. I did not know them because we just met. So because I could not pick anybody out, I had to work punishment for everybody. And I did not like that. So that gave me a consciousness that I really look different. And my coping mechanism in order not to get in trouble or get picked at is to isolate myself from people. I did that for a very long time. um I would not air my opinion. I pretty much was quiet. People thought I was quiet. I have never been a quiet person. I just acted quiet because I was afraid. Anyway, all of that changed when I found out who I really am. I realized that I'm a child of the Most High God. God made me in His image and likeness, and He loves me just the way I am. I don't have to look like everybody else to feel beautiful. He made me the way I am for a reason. And knowing who you are will help you deal with whatever it is that makes you feel lonely, whatever it is that causes you to isolate yourself from others. You can be in the presence of people, in the midst of people where everybody is talking, jubilating, happy, and you realize that you are lonely. Have you ever gone to a party and you see everybody is having a good time, celebrating, drinking, eating, and you find that one person who is just sitting somewhere acting lost? They are lonely. But my encouragement towards this evening is find out what is it that is making you lonely and deal with it. There are many lonely people in the world. You are not the only one. So, one of the ways of dealing with loneliness is look for people who are lonely too. Air Supply sang this song, Two Less Lonely People in the World. He was lonely and then he found somebody who was a woman who was lonely, and then both of them, he said, now there are two less lonely people in the world. So if you know you are lonely, find somebody who is lonely, and before you know it, now you have company. Another way of dealing with it is develop hobbies, things that make you happy even without anybody. I like to play games. When I'm in the middle of my games, I am in a whole different world by myself. I don't feel lonely at all. Instead, I feel unhappy when somebody calls me and distracts me from what I'm doing. So when you develop a hobby, develop a hobbies that you can be around people who like the same things like you. When you do those things with other people, then you realize that you are not lonely. Another thing is, to me, being a Christian and realizing that the Word of God says that God is with us always. He said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I'll be with you always, even until the end of time. So, whether you are in the midst of people or you are sitting alone, you are not alone because God is with you. Be conscious of the fact that you are not alone. And you may even realize that if you start talking to Him, even in your spirit, even alone, silently inside, God, I am here. This is what I'm going through. I need for you to help me do this. I need for you whatever you need for Him to do. You realize that that spirit in you that connects with God will feel the presence of God. Children cannot help themselves when they are lonely because all they can think about is how sad they are and how alone they are. But as an adult, you can help yourself out of loneliness. It is a choice. Get out and make somebody else happy. You will make yourself happy. But it first starts with you knowing what is it that is causing you to be lonely. Another thing I realize is that there are a lot of married people who are lonely even in their marriage. They have a companion, but then they are lonely. If you realize that you are lonely, you can do something about it. You don't have to stay lonely for the rest of your life. You're punishing yourself by being probably in a relationship with somebody and still being alone. Whatever it is that is making you to be lonely, please help yourself. Love yourself enough to know that your life is valuable. You need to enjoy your life and be the best you can be. Tackle what is it that makes you lonely. Find out. Take time to sit by yourself and find out, why am I lonely? And by the time you find out the reason why you are lonely, now you can tackle it. Sometimes it's easier than you know. I was lonely, but now I am no longer lonely. I may be alone, but not lonely. So that's all I have for you this evening. Subscribe to my channel, like, dislike, and comment. God bless you. Bye.